So we will be discussing in the budget about what are the where our country is currently, what is the GDP, what is the growth rate expected, yeah, what is the focus area of the government, what are the expenditure which the government is going to incur in the financial, the financial year 23-24, and the other focus area which the government wants to promote is the trust-based government. The government wants to have minimum government interference, and it wants to have a trust-based governance where the involvement of government is very low. That's what the Madam Finance Minister told in her budget speech. Yeah. So first, let us start it. Let us understand what is the government, what is the growth rate of our country in the next financial year, which is 23-24, in comparison to our neighbors and the United States of America, which is one of the largest economies of the world. So our economy is expected to grow at about between 6 to 7%. In comparison to China, which is 4%, United States of America is expected to grow at 2.9%. Bangladesh is expected to grow about 5.2%. Pakistan, of course, it is growing. It is in a bad shape. It is expected to grow at only 2%. So our economy is expected to do very well in next 5 to 10 years. That's what I see in comparison with the other economies of the world. What I feel is this growth could have been little more higher if the demonetization had not been taken place. So the intention of the government in having demonetization was good, but it did not serve the purpose which it was expected to. If the demonetization had not taken place, this growth would have been much higher by about maybe 2% or 3% higher. That's what I feel. Because of the demonetization, the MSMEs were the worst hit. Employment was taken backstage because the MSMEs are the biggest employment generators in the country, right? So that's what I feel. Yeah. So 7% looks good, and yeah, it is much better when compared to the other countries. Yeah. Moving forward, so our per capita income is nothing but what is the average earnings of one person. What is the total earnings divided by the population of India? We get the average person earning, which our country is having only rupees 1.97 lakhs. In compared to our neighboring countries, which is higher. Even our Bangladesh is doing good, which is 2,26,000 per person in comparison to ours, which is only 1,97,000. USA, of course, it is per capita income is much higher, which is about 63 lakhs. Yeah. The more the per capita income, the more the purchasing power, and the better the health of the economy. Right. Yeah. Yeah. The focus area of the government is employment generation, right? And the government has been reasonably successful in that, right? The unemployment rate is highest, but to some extent, the government has been successful because the data speaks like there are currently 27 crores employees which are registered under the EPF, which is Employment Provident Fund, which has been doubled in last 10 years. That means the more and more the economy is becoming formalized. like UPI payments is happening through UPI. Digital payments are highest in the world, I would say, in terms of value and in terms of the transaction. Further, the Madam Finance Minister also stated that they will be starting the National Digital Library to cover up the loss of education of children in the 2 years of pandemic. Yeah. Then, of course, the agriculture sector is being given more and more importance. Agri fund is being set up for agriculture startups. You know how a startup can have impact on the way things have been done earlier. Like nobody would have thought about Uber, Zomato, Swiggy, how startups have transformed the world. Yeah. So agriculture startups have been promoted aggressively. Millet as a crop is being promoted. Yeah, importance is given for natural fertilizers and natural farming. Yeah, so these are the important focus area of government. What Madam told in her budget speech. Right. The other questions come. I mean, this slides talks about expenditure. Now, why do we need to understand the government expenditure? We need to understand is this because we need to know what is the expenditure, where it is incurred, and how much employment it will create. Because if the employment is created, then the lot of purchasing power increases, the GDP increases, and all growth rate happens. But if employment it doesn't decrease, that will not add much to the economy. So the major area of expenditure is defense, which is about 5.94 crores, which is very, very high. This is very high because our relationship with our neighbors is not really good. With Pakistan, of course, we had a very bad relationship since partition. China, every time it is in news, northeastern states, Ladakh, and so on. Sri Lanka has given its port to China to run it, and it also has a surveillance ship. China has posted surveillance ship in Sri Lanka. Nepal, we don't have even good relationship with Nepal. Nepal constitution has told that some part of India is under Nepal. I mean, they claim that some territory in India is that of Nepal's. So our relationship with our neighbors has not been good. As a result, the defense expenditures are very, very high. So weak relationship with our neighbors results in higher defense costs. It is related, pro rata related to the relationship with the country expenditure. Then, so I just want to know from the participants who are there, of this sector, one second. Out of this sector, which is the major source of employment generation? Can you please tell me which of this sector will create the maximum employment? Like we have defense expenditure, road and transport, highways, railways, Ministry of Consumer of the public distribution, rationing, giving food through ration and all. So which will create maximum employment? Which expenditure will create maximum employment? Can anybody share in the chat, please?
So can I explain in by mouse, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, whether industries जब डेवलपमेंट होता फूड प्रोसेस का ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड में चाहिए, जब एम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ जाएगा, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन बढ़ जाएगा, हर एक को काम मिलेगा.
करेक्ट.
इधर इंडिया में नहीं, अदर कंट्री में भी ऑल्सो सेम थिंग. इंडस्ट्री नहीं है, एग्रीकल्चर नहीं है. पाकिस्तान में क्या हालत हो रहा? एक एग्जांपल बोल रहा हूं मैं, आज अपन भी इंडस्ट्री डेवलपमेंट कर लिए तो एम्प्लॉयमेंट ग्रोथ हो जाता और मैक्सिमम पीपल विल गिव प्रोवाइड फॉर एम्प्लॉयमेंट आल्सो, एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट के साथ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन बढ़ेगा, लेबर का बढ़ेगा, हर चीज डीजल कंजम्पशन बढ़ेगा.
राइट सर. सो बट माय क्वेश्चन इज सर, ये जो चीजें हैं जैसे एक्सपेंडिचर है, इसमें ज्यादा कौन सा एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट करेगा? जैसे डिफेंस है, गवर्नमेंट इज इंकरिंग 5.94 लाख करोड़ इन डिफेंस, रोड एंड ट्रांसपोर्ट में 2.7 लाख करोड़ खर्चा करेगा, रेलवेज में 2.41 करोड़ करेगा, जैसे कम्युनिकेशन, टेलीफोन एंड 5G इसमें 1.23 लाख करोड़ खर्चा करेगा. तो इसमें से ज्यादा एम्प्लॉयमेंट कौन सा सेक्टर क्रिएट करेगा? वो क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ मैं.
मेरे ख्याल से रोड एंड डेवलपमेंट का भी एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएट ज्यादा ही होता सब.
Bingo sir, bingo. What you said is perfectly right.
Because that is a long process, lengthy work. It will गांव से बाहर, डिस्ट्रिक्ट के बाहर, स्टेट के बाहर, जंगल में भी रोड करने के लिए अब जमीन को सीधा करना पड़ता, मिट्टी उठाना पड़ता, रॉक्स फोड़ना पड़ेगा, इलेक्ट्रिकल वायर यूज करने पड़ेगा, ट्रांसपोर्ट व्हीकल यूज करना है, उसके अंदर डीजल कंजम्पशन खींचेगा, लेबर कंजम्पशन खींचेगा.
Right. Bingo sir. So at lower level maximum employment is created through road transport and highways. जैसे बाकी जैसे कम्युनिकेशन है, इंटरनेट, वो इंजीनियर्स के लिए एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएट करेगा, बट दैट विल नॉट बी ए मैसिव स्केल एज रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड हाईवेज.
सब एक इंजीनियर को 60,000 देंगे तो उसके अंदर 10 मेरे मिनिमम ने भी 6 लेबर जी लेते सब, रोड डेवलपमेंट कर लिए तो.
राइट.
थैंक यू सर.
राइट, थैंक यू रघु सर. या. So these are the layout which is expected about 20 lakh crore in the next financial year 23-24. These are the expenditure. Maximum is defense, followed by road and transport. You will be surprised that railways and transport, the government has increased the outlay by 33%. The maximum increase has happened in this road transport and railways. The other sectors, the expenditures are almost same, but so you can see this screen. See the social welfare, the expenditures are almost same. Last 3 years, if you compare 21-22, 22-23, which is the current year, and going forward, the whatever the budgeted figure is almost same. But when compared to the transport, it is massive, 5.17 lakhs crores. It is incurring. This is because the vision. Actually, there is a saying by the name that roads have built America. In America is a developed country because of its great road connectivity. That is what it is being told. So same formula the government of India is adopting to build high-class railway facility, road facility, and the air connectivity. Right. Then moving on, this government wants to create a trust-based governance, as I told in my introduction, wherein about 39,000 compliances have been reduced. Some laws have been repealed, and about 34,000 legal provisions have been decriminalized. It means previously the provisions had even the prosecution powers also were there with the tax departments and the GST department. This has been removed. Now the e-courts have been set up. Means currently our judicial system is very slow. I mean, so to overcome that, e-courts have been set up where the hearing is happening online. Even in income tax, there is now faceless assessment which is happening. So the e-courts is being promoted with an outlay of 7,000 crores. With this faster judicial arrangement, the economy is expected to improve a lot. Right? Then 5G services are being promoted very aggressively. I mean, you can see the speed of 5G, which is currently being given by Jio and all. We can see what is the speed it is, and we can imagine how better our services will be going forward. Yeah. Then for MSME, the government is proposing again collateral-free loan, which is to the tune of 2 lakh crore rupees. Again, it is at a reduced rate of interest when compared to the other loans. The government wants to decrease it by 1%. Yeah. Then some more incentive welfare schemes have been carried out for women and senior citizens, wherein they are giving. They are starting a new saving certificate scheme in the name. If we start in the name of a woman, which carries an interest rate of 7.5%. Then to take care of our senior citizen, there is a senior citizen deposit scheme which carries a higher interest rate of around 8-9% when compared to the normal interest rate, which is around 7%. So earlier the limit was only 15 lakhs. This has been being increased to 30 lakhs. Then post office monthly income scheme. Currently there is a limit of 4 lakh rupees. Only maximum of 4 lakhs only can be deposited under this scheme. This is being increased to 9 lakh rupees. So this is all about our Indian economy. We discussed about what is the per capita income, what is the growth rate expected in the next financial year, and what are the other steps which are being taken by the government to improve compliances, to promote growth and create employment opportunities. Yeah. So moving on, we will be discussing about the changes made into the Income Tax Act. We will also discuss at length the changes in personal income tax, whether it is beneficial or not the new tax regime, which finance minister has told that it will lead to a major tax savings, whether it will be beneficial or not. And we'll also discuss about GST, changes in GST. So till now, any doubts or any observation anybody wants to share? You can please unmute and say.
सर मेरे को एक डाउट है सर. अभी ये 25 करोड़ रुपए लोन दे रहे ना, ये अदर बैंकों से रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट कम पे दे रहे बोल रहे ना, कोलेट्रल कितना लेते हैं लोग?
सर एमएसएमई के लिए कोलेट्रल फ्री है.
एमएसएमई के लिए
हाँ, सीजीएस वो सीजीटी एसएमई करके एक स्कीम रहता, तो उसमें आप अप्लाई करें तो कोलेट्रल फ्री है.
एक्चुअली मैं रनिंग इंडस्ट्री लेना चाह रहा हूँ, एक रिफाइनरी. हाँ, रनिंग रिफाइनरी लेना चाह रहा हूँ.
ओके.
उसके लिए बजट होना 20 करोड़ रुपए या 25 करोड़ रुपए.
ओके.
हाँ, ये आजकल मैं सुना थोड़े जने बोल रहे वो रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट कम में दे रहे फ्रॉम अदर इंटरनेशनल बैंक्स बोल के सुना था.
सर विल डिस्कस दैट सेपरेटली, प्राइवेटली. मैं आपको कॉल करके समझाता हूँ.
राइट, थैंक यू.
ठीक. Okay, so we'll discuss. The finance minister in her budget, when talking about the part B, she told that she wants to boost the exports from India, and she also wants to boost domestic manufacturing. Yeah, so exports will get the maximum foreign exchange. मैन्युफैक्चरिंग से अपना एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज बहुत बढ़ेगा. सर्विस इज नॉट एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएटर. ओनली मैन्युफैक्चरिंग of a product gives maximum employment opportunities. So the government wants to focus more on manufacturing. Right? Yeah. So direct tax, these are the facts what finance minister told, which also helps us to understand how the process of the government has been streamlined. about 72 lakhs income tax returns were filed in a day in the last assessment year. 6.5 crores income tax returns are processed in this financial year. The cases which are being selected for scrutinies are being very reduced unless there is special information or like that. Then processing time of income tax return is greatly reduced. In the year 2013-14, it was 93 days. On average of 93 days, it used to take processing a return, income tax return. Now it is greatly reduced to say only 16 days. Some of the income tax return, almost 45% of the income tax returns were processed within 24 hours. You file the return, your income tax return today, and the income tax return is processed tomorrow. So almost 45% of returns were processed in such manner. So this tells about the speed in which the government is functioning. Yeah. Right. Now comes the benefits to the MSMEs. So MSMEs are nothing but the companies which are having turnover below 250 crores. Like micro enterprises are the enterprise which are having turnover of less than 5 crores. Then comes small enterprises, which is about 25 crores and 250 crores. So those are the entities which are having low turnover are called MSMEs, right? So to promote MSMEs, the government is saying you don't maintain books of accounts. I mean, and you can show taxation on presumptive rate. Presumptive rates is nothing but whatever your receipts are there in the bank statement, you pay percentage on that. Like currently the percentage is about 6% in case of bank receipts and 8% in case of cash receipts. So this limit currently it is 2 crores in case of business and 15 lakhs in case of profession. This is being increased to 3 crores and 75 lakhs respectively. Provided only 5% of the receipt is in cash. Like for example, if the turnover of the business is let's say 3 crores, the cash transaction should be only 5% of it. That is only 15 lakhs has to be cash transaction. The balance 2.85 lakhs should have been received in the form of checks. Right. Then there is one more important amendment which is being brought under this budget is that the payment, if you are supposed to make payment to any micro or small units, the deduction for that, if you don't make the payment, you will not get income tax deduction. Let us understand the same with an example. Suppose you bought some goods from an small unit, means the unit which is registered under MSME and is having turnover of let's say 25 crores, and you have not made payment for let's say 60 days. Then what the income tax says now going forward is you cannot take the expenses of that payment. The purchases you cannot take it as an expenditure, and you have to pay income tax on the same, right? So this is very important amendment is being made to make payments to micro and small units on time. So generally, if you are a MSME, a business has to make the payment within 45 days. And if the payment is not made within the 45 days, then the MSME is liable to collect interest from the other unit to whom it has sold the goods. So this is very important amendment coming, and it will help in a great way to micro and small units in realizing their payments on time. If anybody wants more information on this, you please message me. I can explain them personally also on this. If anybody wants MSME registrations also, we can help you on this. Right. Right. Then we discussed about MSME. Now we discuss about the startups. So India has third largest startup ecosystem in the world, and it is currently being ranked second among innovation among middle income countries. Some of the benefits which are being provided under this budget is, in order to qualify as a startup, you need to be your company or LLP or a partnership firm has to be incorporated within certain dates. Like it is from, if I'm not wrong, it is from 1st April 2014 to 31st March 23, right? So this benefit was expiring this year. So they have extended it by 31st March 24. So in this year also, if anybody wants to claim the benefit of startup registration, they can take it, right? And the government also has extended the carry forward of business laws from currently 7 years to 10 years, which is very specific. Like under income tax law, there is a provision that if there is a change in shareholding pattern by more than 51%, you cannot take benefit of the carry forward of the business loss incurred prior to the change of shareholding. So because startups incur huge losses in the initial years, that provisions they have removed for startups, and that provisions were only applicable for 7 years. This 7 years is now currently extended to 10 years, right? Then there are certain other income tax benefits which they have curtailed, like if you buy a house property, hitherto you can get full exemption of whatever capital gain you have invested. You used to get full exemption of capital gain, but now they have capped this exemption limit to 10 crores because ultra rich people are taking advantages of this, because they buy properties for 50 crores and again they sell property for 50 crores and they again invest in another property. So all ultra rich people were saving taxes. So in order to discourage that, the government has limited the limit to 10 crores. Then the decriminalization of 276A is again, reducing compliances. Decriminalization, reducing the compliance burden. Then this is a leave encashment. This is specific exemption provided to employees which have opted for new tax regime. The earlier limit, LTA leave encashment limit was 3 lakhs. This has been increased to 25 lakhs. Right now, what this madam has discussed on the last 5-10 minutes of our budget, and we will be discussing more about this now, the new tax regime. So the new tax regime talks about till 7 lakhs, there is no tax. Only 5 lakhs, 5 tax slabs are there under the new tax regime. And maximum surcharge, which under the old tax regime is around 37%. It has been reduced to 25%. Yeah. So now the new tax regime is the default tax regime. One must be careful. If they want to go to the old tax regime, they have to opt for it consciously. Right. So this is an Excel document prepared by one of a CA, which comprehensively explains which regime is good. The new regime is good or the old regime is good. So under the new regime, you cannot claim any exemption or deduction. Like you cannot take a benefit of HRA. You cannot take benefit advantages of interest paid on housing loans. You cannot take a deduction of ATC, LIC, tuition fee payment. So you cannot take so under old regime, all the exemptions and deductions are done away with, and only deduction you can claim is standard deduction, which is of 50,000. So let us understand this table in detail, right? And with an example, right? Now, Now, if a person has income of 10 lakhs and eligible exemption and deduction is rupees 2 lakhs. So which scheme is better? Old regime, where you can claim all the ATC deduction and interest on housing loan or so, which is better? So this states that tax under old regime will be 72,500. Is my voice audible? Am I clear?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Audible, sir. Audible.
Audible. Thank you. Yeah. So the tax under old regime will be 72,500, and tax under the new regime is 60,000. So here there is a benefit in the new regime, which is about 12,500. Yeah. So we can see this in the table also. Like here, if you can see, the exemption and deduction is 2 lakhs, right? And the income is 10 lakhs, right? So here, sorry, is my cursor visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you can see at 10 lakhs and the exemptions is 2 lakhs. Here it is showing exemption and deduction eligible in old scheme, which is 2 lakhs. And if your income is 10 lakhs, then this green portion shows advantages in new scheme. And if you have more exemption and deductions, then this yellow marks, then the old scheme is better, right? So this says, in our example, the current example, there is a saving of 12,500 in the new scheme. Moving on. Suppose if a person has income of only 7 lakh and there is no exemption and deduction, so which scheme will be better? So obviously the new tax regime will be better, because he will not have to pay any tax. He will be paying only tax of, he will not be paying any tax, and there will be advantage of 52,500 excluding surcharge and the secondary higher education cess. Of course, there will be no surcharge, but secondary and higher education cess will be applicable of 4%. Right. Moving on. Now, let us understand that if a person has income of 20 lakhs and eligible exemption and deduction is of 3.5 lakhs, so which will be beneficial? So the tax under old regime will be 3,07,500, and the tax under the new regime will be only 3 lakhs. So there will be a benefit of net of 7,500. So it is better to go for the new scheme. Right.
Just a quick question here.
Yeah, Raghu.
If we choose to go under the new regime in the following financial year, then the year after, can we switch back to the old regime, or once you switch to the new regime, you have to stay with the new regime forever?
So it depends, Raghav, based on your income sources. So if you have only salary income, so you can switch back and forth whenever you want. But if you have business income, you cannot switch back and forth. So if you are going under the old regime, you have to stick to that.
No, if you go under the new regime, then you have to stick to the new regime, is it?
Yes, yes. Yeah, if you have business income.
Okay. And, how does sort of investment income get classified? That comes under business income, is it?
No. So investment or capital gain, right? You invest in mutual fund. It's an investment. So, so those are classified under capital gain. Whatever you offer to tax is income from capital gain. So we are talking only about business income.
So say rental incomes and all that would get classified as business income?
No. So that is again income from house property. So you can switch back and forth there.
Okay, business income in the sense of what? If you're running a business and you're making dividends, is that what gets classified as business income? Or?
Business income is like you are running a trading firm or you are having a manufacturing entity, right? You are a partner. I mean, you are running it. So whatever income you earn, it is a business income.
If you don't have a separate legal entity under which you're running it, but you're running it in your own individual capacities, is
Yes,
that how
yes,
it gets classified?
yes, yeah. Suppose company hai, so whatever you earn is a salary income. Whatever director.
Correct. No, but suppose you own a company, मान लो sole proprietorship है या whatever, say partnership है, तो या sort of private limited company है, so you say I own 50% of the company and somebody else owns 50% of the company, ठीक है? And कुछ income आया, company makes some profit or whatever, उसमें से dividend pay कर रहा है, that is the income that say I'm getting as a shareholder. That doesn't get classified as business income.
No,
that is just sort of
yeah,
that is dividend income.
Yeah, it is income from other source. Only if you are purely into, like say you are into investment, आप investment ही करते हो, trading करते हो, जैसे आपने share खरीदा, बेचा, आपका काम ही वही है. If that is your business, then it is a business.
Okay.
But if you are investing it, let's say 1 year, 2 साल के लिए, 5 साल के लिए, if you are holding it for a period of time, that's an investment.
Okay, got it. Understood. Yeah. So technically, a lot of people will be eligible to move back and forth between the old regime and new regime as long as both are in existence.
हाँ, salary income, business income नहीं है तो you can do it.
कि ये साल ये beneficial है तो इसमें रहो, अगले साल दूसरा beneficial है तो उसमें जाओ, then again come back if you choose.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and this new regime is applicable for the next financial year, not for the current financial year.
Current year it is there, but it is not beneficial. उतना lucrative नहीं है.
हाँ, तो ये 7 लाख का अगले financial year के लिए है.
Correct. Yes.
Got it.
It is income था after March 31st, sir.
Yes. March 31st के बाद.
लागू होता March 31st के बाद लागू होता 7 लाख के लिए.
Correct. Yeah. हाँ.
बोले तो ये साल का इनकम 7 लाख रुपए अपन दिखा दिए तो फिर टैक्स होता.
हाँ, टैक्स होता, बिल्कुल होता.
हाँ, अगला 31 मार्च के बाद 7 लाख का ऊपर जो भी है देख लेते.
करेक्ट.
वो एग्जम्पशन है.
वो एग्जम्पशन है.
सब इसके अंदर आप एक बेनिफिट दिए, 7 लाख के ऊपर से 20 लाख रुपए तक गए तो 10 लाख तक टैक्स कितना आ रहा सब, और 20 लाख तक गए तो कितना टैक्स आ रहा?
सर ये न्यू टैक्स रिजीम में 15 लाख के ऊपर इनके स्लैब रेट्स डिफरेंट है, जैसे यहाँ पे मैं भी दिखाता हूँ.
ओके, वही पूछा था सर. स्लैब रेट तब तक नया आया हमारा को.
हाँ, ये स्लैब रेट है. आप मेरा कर्सर देख सकते हैं स्क्रीन में. जैसे उसमें स्लैब रेट 3 लाख तक कुछ टैक्स नहीं है न्यू टैक्स रिजीम में. 3 से 6 5% है, 6 से 9 10% है, 9 से 12 15 है, 12 से 15 20 है, और एबोव 15 30%. 30%.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
And when you say deductions and exemptions, that includes HRA and stuff like that, no?
Yes, HRA,
ATC types.
Yeah, ATC types. आपका लॉस, आपने कुछ इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट किया हो हाउसिंग लोन के लिए, वो भी आपको नहीं मिलेगा न्यू टैक्स रिजीम में.
Got it.
Yeah. So as we discussed, so the SSC may choose whether or not to exercise this option in each financial year. By default, the new tax regime will be means it will be new tax regime by default. If you want to go to old regime, you have to choose it. In case of individuals and HF having business income, options once exercised cannot be withdrawn, right? Yeah. So again, he can switch if he doesn't have business income, then he can switch again back and forth. Right. So finally, the changes in GST. So there are in GST, there are a few changes. Earlier, composition dealers were not supposed to, they were not allowed to do e-commerce sale. One of the important requirement to do e-commerce sale was you have to register as a normal GST registered taxpayer. Yeah. So this has been done away with. and the time limit to file GST returns, which was not there earlier. Now they have fixed a 3 years time limit. So if you're not filing your GST returns for 3 years, you cannot file it forever. Earlier there was no limit, and so the government also wants to share the GST data, whatever you file with the GST department, like GSTR 1 or 3B data. It will also start sharing with the other governmental authorities. This they have they are going to make a provision in the law. And इससे पहले जब GST आया था तब high sea sales के बारे में कुछ clarity नहीं थी. High sea sale is nothing but when you sell the goods before the goods are entering into India. तो उसके ऊपर GST का clarity नहीं था. The government got the clarity somewhere only in 2021 or something. It gave clarity. But to give more clarity, the government is coming, it is putting under the law that from 1/7/2017, जब से GST आया है, तब से high sea sales is exempt from GST. Yeah. So this completes pretty well my presentation. So I am open to any questions and answers if anybody have.
You had mentioned something about tax losses being carried forward by startups for a period of 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
One other thing that I wanted to ask you was how does the tax holiday work for startups? For what period of time are you can you take a sort of tax holiday where you do not pay any tax? There's under MAT or something, there is a rule which says that for a period of 7 years you can take a tax holiday, isn't it? Out of a 10-year period.
नहीं, actually startups के लिए what is the law currently is there are certain startups which are recognized by IAC. उसमें बोलते हैं तीन government organizations are there which approves those startups which are highly innovative. उनके लिए वो tax exemption है, so they can take tax exemption for a continuous period of 3 years out of 7 years. So
3 years out of 7 years. Okay.
Yeah. So only those recognized startups can take tax holidays. I mean, abhi tak government is giving very limited. I think till date only 1,000 startups have been given tax holidays. So there are many startups registered as startups, but only around 1,000 to maybe 1,500 startups are given tax holidays. Not all.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Anybody wants to share? Vinay, hi Vinay.
Hi.
So you want to share what was your takeaway? You joined in between.
Yeah. Not like takeaway. I think that's too early for me because I seldom understand finance. So that is the reason I wanted to participate and at least understand what is budget or what is this tax regimes, all that stuff. Yeah. Because no one does it, at least in my circles. I just wanted to at least attend and see how things work and other stuff. That's it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's better to have knowledge. I mean, it helps in our day-to-day business. Right.
Good presentation, Jitu. I think it was quite exhaustive. Covered both the personal as well as company level issues. So yeah, very good. Well done. Yeah, very professionally done also.
Thank you, Raghav. Yeah. Yes, Jayesh bhai, want to say something?
Yes, good and informative for us, all our clients.
Right.
It is nice budget.
Thank you. Yeah, 43B, I think all business persons should take care of this.
Yes.
Because you are auditors. Of course, we will point out. We will tell you why you. You will have to pay more tax if you are not making payment to your suppliers on time. You will have to pay.
point is still discussing point. We will discuss later. That is more important point for us.
Yeah, and it will also help you in realization your payments on time. Right? Suppose you make sale, and so his auditor also will push to make you payments on time.
We can switch that time period well in good manner.
Sorry.
Time period is still bad debts reduce that provision bad debts reduce.
Correct. Yes, it will reduce bad debts. Yes, it will increase cash flow. Yeah, yes. It will. So thank you.
Just one quick question, Jitu. You had mentioned something about decriminalization of that particular clause, isn't it?
276. हाँ वो IBC related है actually. That is not IBC अभी आ गया है ना. तो earlier the government was prosecuting this official liquidator जो भी company को liquidate करता है. तो कुछ अगर वो false information देता है तो there was a prosecution on him. So the government is decriminalization.
Okay, got it. Cool. Thank you very much, Jitu.
Yeah, thank you, Raghav, everybody for your active participation. Yeah, and looking forward to engage with you all. Yeah, thank you.